Whatever you want.
Just to catch my breath.
Which ones?
Whenever you're ready.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is that we are together in our sanctuary. I'm sure every one of us was feeling a little trepidation this evening with what happened last week in Texas. But we are here, and we're going to talk more about that later in our service. But I'm so glad we're here, and I'm glad you're here with us. And we welcome those of you that are online with us as well. And it's so nice to have Thad on the bima with us, playing a little extra guitar with the cantor. I love that, Thad. Thank you. That's cool. We're excited to have Thad here. Thad actually also teaches high school, and he teaches guitar, too. This man knows his music, so we're very excited to finally get him on the bima, which has been our game plan the whole time. Thank you so much for making that happen for us. Well done. The best bat mitzvah in the world. That's right. Isabel, thank you. And with that, let's continue with the lighting of Shabbat candles. I'd like to call upon that amazing bat mitzvah, Isabel Kasanovich, as well as her beloved mother, Michelle, and Thad as well, as we all come on over. Page 120, 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness remind us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle the light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. shel Shabbat.
And now that we've welcomed Shabbat, I invite you to welcome the person next to you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Wave at someone near you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. With us. Page 138, we continue with Lecha Dodi.
Yam bidi bidi bye bye bye, yam bidi bidi bye bye, lecha dodi likrat panav. Yam bidi bidi bye bye bye, yam bidi bidi bye bye, b'nei Shabbat ekavelah. Yam bidi bidi bye bye bye, yam bidi bidi bye bye, lecha dodi likrat panav. Yam bidi bidi bye bye bye, yam bidi bidi bye bye, b'nei Shabbat ekavelah. Shamor v'zachor b'diburecha, Hishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem
We continue now on page 142 with Shalom Aleichem. Very slow. Hard to breathe.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Minelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moachem Lishalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Minelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Lishalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Minelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue now with our call to worship, Baruch Hu, on page 146. I invite you, if you're able to, either physically or spiritually, to please rise. Page 148. Please join me if you're able. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, מסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום מביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אלחי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. Page 151. We join together on the bottom of that page, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. As we turn to page 152, 153, I invite us all to take a deep breath in. Exhale out. A couple more deep breaths in.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. As we continue with Ve'ahavta on page 154, using mine, led by our bat mitzvah of tomorrow morning, Ms. Isabel.
Be'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ufol nafshecha ufol me'odecha behayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohim taveha hayom al levaveha b'shilantam levaneha v'dibartam bam b'shivteha b'veiteha uvleteha b'derech u'shochvecha uvkumeha ושרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניה, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריה, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני Adonai Elohim, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lilot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohim. You shall love Adonai, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children, when cite them when you stay at home and when you're away. when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God.
Page 158. We continue with Micha Mocha, our prayer of freedom. As we think about our freedom, we think about all those who are not free around us.
ונאמר כי פדרנו את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We continue on page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. We may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu, v'kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We continue on page 164 with the central portion of our worship with our tefillah. Please rise if you're able, either physically or in spirit. Madame?
Adonai Sefatayv Tiftahu V'yagi Tehilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Yimoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rahel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Koner HaKol V'zoher hasdei avot, v'yimahot, umevi ge'ula livnei v'neihem, Leman shemo be'ahava, mele osir u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham, be'ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, Mehaye hakol atarav lehoshia, Mohashiv haruach umarid hagashem, Mehakel hayim behesed, Mehaye hakol berachamim ramim, Somech noflim verofei humolim, Umatir asurim, Umakaye emunato lishnei afar, Mihamo haba gevurot, Umidomela, Melech mimit, Umahaye, Umatzmi Yeshuach, V'ne'eman ata lehayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Magaye hakol.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Please be seated.
Guess what you gotta do? You gotta go sit down over there. Good job, Izzy. Candace rushing through the service. We better stay with Candace. I hear you. These masks are really fun to lead worship in. I'm sure you're enjoying singing in them too, aren't they, something? Page 173. We join together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Go right to that. Page 178.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasbih moment now for whatever prayers are left on our minds and in our hearts. We'll take just a few moments of our own silent prayer.
We now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. That healing may be in need of from a physical ailment, a mental ailment, or a spiritual ailment. On this Shabbat, we think of Sally Hernandez, Chana Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Chana, Ivan Aronson, Bob Bell, David Berg, Robert Berg, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sandy Beinstock, Robbie Biro, Barry Brown, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Ed Kahn, Chu Chi, Sandra Cohen, Bunny Fisher, Carolyn Franklin, Holly Fugit, Marcia Gieser, Marina Gaffney, Sharon Jenkin, Harry Glaze, Charlene Griffin, Ted Guglin, Linda Harris, Dr. Gary Height, Jesse Jessen, Jenny Johnson, Mimi Jones, Melissa Katz, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Shirley Lerner, Carol Lee Lesage, Lois Lieberman, Lior Batginya, David Ledwitz, Litia Leos, Bobby Lotman, Austin Lucero, Janice Lucero, Gerald Maddox, Ellen McCaslin, Kathy McElwee, Sid Melbourne, Vivian Cooper Moore, Gunther Myberg, Brad Parkins, Gabrielle Pollack, Stephanie Rasmussen, David Rice, Linda Rogers, Gordon Robinson, Laura Danoff Robinson, Dolores Sams Hoy, Gary Sanders, Laura Sanders, Malachi Sarensen, Arnold Schaffritz, Donna Shine, Manny Siegler, Lana Smith, Amy Stavis, Eileen Sweet, Donna Thyman, Pham Tai Trang, Gina Thrower, Rob Vigil, Teresa Walsh, Jeannie Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong, Yaakov Ben Eda, Brandon Yarkin, Yosef Ben Rivka Akiva, Madison Zales, and everyone who is suffering from coronavirus. If you wish to add another name to our healing list, I invite you to raise your hand. Cool, everyone's healthy over in our family. As we join together, wishing all of them a refuah shlema, as we join together in Misha Berach by Debbie Friedman on page 371. Well, this week's Torah portion, I think, is a very important portion and comes at a perfect time. It's Yitro, or Jethro, from the book of Exodus. And as I'm sure a lot of you remember, Yitro is actually Moses' Midianite priest father-in-law, a non-Jew, just saying. So in this parsha, before we get to Jethro a little bit more, the Israelite slaves are released from Egyptian bondage. We have the theophany at Mount Sinai, and the Ten Commandments are given. So really not much happens in this portion. And then, of course, you have this piece with Jethro. And Jethro actually advises Moses. Like, he says, dude, you can't do it all. You need some support. You need some help. Use your people. Let's create some cooperation amongst the leaders. And that's what he does. And I say this because last Saturday in Texas, when my colleague for 11 hours with 4 congregants was held hostage after teaching Torah and after leading worship so beautifully that he did, he then had to deal with the reality before him. And he's had some criticism, especially by ultra-Orthodox, sadly, because he invited that man in for tea that ended up having a gun. And because this particular Rabbi Charlie, does a lot of interfaith work. Why? Because he understands this parashah perfectly. He understands that we are obligated as Jews to be part of the world around us, to tikkun olam, to make the world around us a better place. So thankfully, that's what Rabbi Charlie does in his little hub in Texas, just like so many of us rabbis try to do in this community and all of our communities, to work with our faith partners, because that's what this is all about. So I want to put this out there that there's a couple messages. One is that what he did in that community was fantastic, to build interfaith relationships, to bring this Muslim man into his office to have tea is the right thing to do, and good for you, Charlie. You're a mensch and a wonderful rabbi, and that's the way it should be. We have to remind ourselves, though, that these are scary times, and I'm not going to fool you. I was very thankful when the officer showed up today to be on the outside. And I, made sure that I had my baseballs, which I have, to throw at someone that comes at us, or that we have all of our things taken care of, and we have various things, security things all around that you're not aware of, that we'll make sure they're all working. The police department has been amazing, as they have done so many drive-bys this last week, and they've been very supportive, as the chief of police is incredibly supportive of our synagogue. And all that's really, really important. But we can't live in fear. We can't live in fear. And that's why I think it's such a statement that we are all here. But when I think about what happened Saturday, a lot of stuff rises up for me. So I thought, we have open mic night tonight, which is often my minhag, my custom after a tragedy like that, or potential tragedy. If anyone wants to just kind of express, what are you thinking about what happened? You came in tonight. Why? Why don't you just stay home and watch it online, just in case? What motivated you? So anyone who wants to come up to that mic, the mic is on, it's hot, so feel free to share a thought or two before Deborah goes up and does it. Because I feel like Deborah's coming soon. Jeff looks back. Go for it, Jax. Let's talk.
So, for those that don't know me, my name is Jax. I am in the intro class. This was a little bit of a galvanizing event. I had already kind of decided that I was on the right path, but this reconfirmed it for me. I kind of felt like what was ultimately being said was that it was not okay to be Jewish, and I'm not going to let anyone tell me that it's not okay to be Jewish. So,
You're here.
I'm here.
That's cool, Jax. I appreciate that. Nice. Jeffrey.
Well, to me, it was a little like January 6th, where they still held the Electoral Count Act vote. And to me, coming to Sabbath was especially important after that incident.
That's interesting. So you kind of were connected to January 6th with this. Oh, that's really interesting, Jeff. So that kind of went up for you. Oh, that's really interesting.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Lori.
First, I think this is an opportunity for Jews not to quit, not to shy away, and just represent, because we're not going anywhere.
That's right.
And okay, so then I don't want to edit any other language. And then the and the other thing is, I think it's a real shame that it's still. I mean, I'll go back to like World War I, where really the Holocaust, right, where they thought the Jews controlled everything and were bad for the world. And this is exactly what motivated that not thinking that the Jews controlled everything. And so the whole perception of the Jewish people are wrong, obviously, but I don't know if the Jews need to, or the Pope's messages and the Dalai Lama's messages should, I'm thinking almost incorporate, Jews don't own and control everything, but this is, we're embracing them, and we have certain similar beliefs. So I don't know, it might be way out there, but that's my perspective.
It's not way out there. And I actually think that's a really good point you're making, Lori. Neil, come on up if you want to speak. Come on up. Yeah, come on up to the mic. But Lori, I think that's really important what you're saying, actually. And I think there is such a bad rap about us Jews, right? There's this sense that we're all wealthy. We control Hollywood and the press, all these ridiculous concepts. Let me tell you, if we controlled stuff, COVID would be done already. All right, let me just tell you. Except for in Israel, but that's another issue. No. But I think it's really a good point you're making. And I think that's the problem with stereotyping any group of people. Any group of people. Neil.
Well, I'm here because to me, Judaism is more than just a religion. It's a faith family. And to me, this is my family. Albeit, you're my relatives. I mean, albeit many are distant relatives, but I feel at home here. Being on Zoom doesn't do it. I feel more complete when I'm here, with just maybe a dozen other people, but we're all together, we're part of that family, and I feel much more complete.
That's beautiful. So it doesn't matter what's out there in the world, we still have to keep doing what we do.
Exactly.
We can't live in fear.
Right.
Beautiful. Thanks, Neil.
And particularly when I read today was the 80th anniversary of that meeting where the Nazis planned the extermination of the Jews. And that made it even much more important for me to be here as a testament today.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Julie.
Well, the funny thing is I'm here mostly because I'm here to hang with my friend Isabel. So I was coming anyway. And I don't know what it says that it didn't cross my mind that today was any different. I mean, obviously I knew the news last week, but I also teach schools, so I go every day where someone may come with a gun. It turns out, and we've learned that that's just something that we've decided is okay in this country, which that's a whole other story. It's not okay, but honestly, I'm glad I'm here because I needed the recharge that this gives, because I don't know, I'm tired. It's been, it just feels like, whether it's January 6th or last week or COVID or anything, the compassion fatigue is hard, and this is where we go to recharge. So
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. I think there's a lot of negative energy out there, and I think that with COVID and with what took place a year ago, which is really still mind-boggling to me, that insurrection, to be honest with you, that terrorist attack on our Capitol. And then with this round of COVID, like the roller coaster of COVID, and we're now in that space where there's a lot. It's just crazy right now. Our kids are getting it left and right in every school. Our preschool's been hit like it never was before. And I think three out of the 4 preschools in this area were actually closed down at one point while we were open with one classroom. So it's been really tough. And I think that we didn't really contemplate, I think, what all this does to us emotionally, to be honest with you. And that's my concern, is I think there's been a huge impact from all this. And last Saturday, for some of us, if not all of us, was just another straw. I can't say the last straw, but just another straw. Like, really, we need this service right now. We really need this. And I also just want to put out there that I think this is what happens when you have a lot of hate speech going on. And we've had a lot of hate speech in this last half a decade, and that's what it leads to. And that's why words matter and words count. And we believe that as a people. So really appreciate the comments. Yeah, let's just want to come to this mic. Come to this mic.
I just want to say that when I saw that I was the board rep for tonight, I was really moved because I needed to be here and I needed to be with everybody, and I needed to stand up and say, I'm Jewish and I'm not going to be afraid because of what happened last week. And I also want to say that we have a huge issue with domestic terrorism and with armed extremism in this country, and until we do something about our gun laws, we're going to continue to be afraid. And so that's why I fight every day to change our gun laws.
Thank you. You know, Jessica, you'll love hearing this, but in my interfaith group, we met Wednesday, and a lot of my colleagues were part of an interfaith group that we created 2 years ago to fight racism in San Jose. And one of them said, my Black Baptist buddy said, Rabbi, I think you need to have a gun now. Right there, pack a gun, Rabbi, so this doesn't happen to you. And I'm like, well, I was thinking about you. Yeah, I'd rather have a baseball bat and baseballs than a gun, I told him. Even that, exactly, or a chair, as the case may be. But here's the thing. Violence creates and begets more violence. And I'm sorry, but I don't see why we need to have guns in our society. If you want to hunt, then I don't see why you can't go to the hunting, go to the range, whatever they call that. There's a locker where guns should be kept. That's where it would be, and then you do your thing. That's great. But the idea that we have guns so easily accessible is just really, really tragic. And then you have someone who's mentally unbalanced come into a synagogue and bam, how lucky we were last Saturday, but we could have lost a lot of people. So I think there's a variety of issues. I think mental health and guns always come to mind for me with these things. I think they're both really there, and it's super important that we as a society are open and we talk about that stuff. So I really appreciate all of the thoughts that I heard from all of you. And as you think of stuff overnight, feel free to send me an email if you want, just to let me know how you're feeling. And I think it's important for us to express ourselves. So I invite us to take a deep breath in. I'll put my mask back on, Kenner. And we'll continue now with announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Jessica Blitchock, and on behalf of Temple Emanu-El Board of Trustees, I'm excited to be here with you tonight, to be in person and to be online for services led by Rabbi Magat and Cantor Shafritz. Mazel tov to Michelle Kusanovich and Thad Smith on the bat mitzvah of their daughter, Isabel, tomorrow morning at 10:30. On Sunday at 10 a.m., our weekly Musar Torah study group meets at 10 a.m. on Zoom. Also on Tuesday, join the rabbi for his weekly chat at noon, and on Wednesday for lunch and learn, also at noon. Thursday, January 27th is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, and in commemoration of this day, the Silicon Valley Holocaust Remembrance Association is inviting everyone to join an amazing conversation about the Ritchie Boys, immigrants who were part of the then secret U.S. military intelligence unit that was instrumental in the Allies winning World War II. Please sign up online for the Zoom webinar, which starts at 5 p.m. and will be hosted by the son of a Ritchie boy, who is one of the members of the Silicon Valley Holocaust Remembrance Association. Next Friday is Shabbat at Home. Services will be on Zoom at 6:30 p.m. Our period equity drive continues. Please donate generously to our bins to help Jewish Family Services and Sacred Heart Community Services support menstruating people so that they can go to school and work with confidence. Check online for further information. There's something else about the ONA. There's another. Oh, there we go. No, this is the same. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, the Onig will be in the foyer as you walk out. It's a grab and go experience, yes. May COVID leave us soon. Any other announcements? We're good? Deborah, are you good with anything? Fair enough. We continue with Elaine on page 586. Please rise if you are able, either physically or in spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים במעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
As we now come to the moment in our service, we think about members of our family and our community who have died recently or in years past. I invite you, upon hearing the name of your loved one, if you choose to stand as a sign of love for that person and remain standing until all the names in our yahrzeit list have been recited. Then together we'll all rise. On this Shabbat, we are mindful of those that are grieving the Shiva, the first week of mourning for Barry Miller, beloved husband of Sarah and dear father of Aaron, Michael, and Anna. We also think of Lucy Young, aunt of Yvonne Nemec, as well as think of those that are grieving the 30-day period of mourning, the Shloshim, for Mervyn Feinstein and Joe Russo. We also think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first-year mourning, for Leon Averick, Brenda Bausch, Pauline Anderson Berkowitz, Carol Bitter, Denise Blue, Hy Birdman, Phyllis Birdman, Mary Cage, Roy Robert Creech, Alexander Cunningham, Norman Deshotsky, Carol Everett, Alan Garshon, Luboth Katsis, Richard Gersten, Charles Green, Srilio Guerra, Estella Guerra, former president of our congregation, Phil Hammer, Judy Fisher Harrington, Deborah Katzman, Kevin Krieger, Hal Lax, Maxine Mutnick, Michael Meltzer, Manny Migdal, Roberta Stivelman-Newman, Patricia Roscoe, Richard Peterson, Colin Powell, Len Pomerantz, Arlene Ravel, Steve Reese, Stanley Rosen, Betty Rossman, Jane Sargent, Rosalind Schwartz, Marilyn Siller, Kit Snyder, Marty Weisblatt, Millie Wolfson, Laura Ziffer. We also think of the following yahrzeits we observe on this Shabbat, as we think of Edward Jacob Abelson, Jewel Altman, Ethel Asher, Ben Atlas, Irving Borowski, Bessie Cohen, Goldie Epstein, Sam Epstein, Sam Fishback, David Goldberg, Dora Morris Green, Ruth Gutman, Samuel Gutman, Cynthia Heerwagen, Lena Heller, Irving Hirsch, Robert Hoffman, Grace Evelyn Hoffman, Kay Johnson, Lewis Howard Katz, Irvin Katz, Morris Katz, Helen Kidder, Eva Klinger, David Koenig, Martin Kriesman, Edith Krulin, Anne Levin, Sandra Levine, Julia Levine, Joe Lauren, David Meyerfeld, Fred Oken, Helen Parrish, Jeanette Penkovey, Ida Ress, Philip Rosenberg, Judge Martin Rothberg, Bernard Rubenstein, Leo Sachs, Sylvia Zaslaw, Leon Schleier, Alice Sklar, Simon Slater, Howard Steiner, Mary Stoll, Al Turek, Lola Zeidenweber. Zichronam livracha, may all the memories of our loved ones endure as we all rise to recite together the ancient words of our mourner's Kaddish that you can find on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabba, be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malachutei, b'chai echon v'yom echon, ufchai dechol be'Yisrael, b'agalav uzman kariv, imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'rechu, le'olam min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'miran belma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabba mishamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael, shvei tevel v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to those who are bereaved among us, wherever they may be, as we say together, amen. Please be seated.
We'll conclude this evening with the words we just recited at the end of our Kaddish, these words of peace, Oseh Shalom. Before we do, I just want to thank Thad one more time for being with us tonight. You're such a wonderful addition to the music this evening, and I hope that you will be back sometime
Every
with
Friday.
us soon. Regardless of whether there's a bat
single
mitzvah or
Friday.
not.
Every
It's really
Friday.
a pleasure.
Every Friday. What else is he doing, you know? You just, come on. Yeah, really, man.
Oseh shalom b'roma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'roma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'roma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'amo Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'alko Yisrael. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'alko Yisrael. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'alko Yisrael. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
So we're going to do Kiddush and Motzi from here, and back there you all can get some grape juice or wine when the time comes. Beautiful, Cantor, thank you. So Isabel will lead us. The taste is good with the plastic. This is the real stuff, real Manischewitz here, Mom. So no driving for you. That's all I'm saying. Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagalafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu, b'shabbat kodsho b'ahavat uvratzon hilad lanu. Ziraron le'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah le'mikael kodesh, zer le'tzayat mitzrayim, ki banu v'atarta v'eltanu kaidashta miholamim v'shabbat kodsha v'amal uvratzon hilhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mechayedesh ha-shabbat lahem. Lahaim.
Isn't that yummy? It's horrible, yeah. Because this should only be used for charoseh. This is not real wine. Sorry for those who like your sweet wine. It's very large challah here.
It's very large. You have to share it with all of us here.
That could be more back there. No. Ready? Let's do it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov. One down. That was great, Dad. That was great, bud. Shabbat shalom.
I liked your remarks. Mazel tov to the family. Very nice. Beautiful service. Okay, Isabel, it's just tomorrow now, and you don't do very much tomorrow. Nothing. Not much. Just show up. A little. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. You sit up there and, There's a couple times they call you up, but you'll be awesome. Get some sleep. Exactly, your hard part's done, right?